2024 and prices I'm excited to pay and those that I'm not in relation to sneakers. The bar is moving, okay? And I understand that I don't have an issue when brands are incrementally increasing the price of products because that's what happens and that's business. And also, they tend to do this on the products that keep the lights on, regardless of what hype or excitement is going on around their brand in general. Take a look at the Air Force One or the Air Max 90. Nike increased incrementally those prices because those are the things that are always selling year round. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be back to school. It doesn't need to be All-Star Weekend. It doesn't need to be the holiday season. People will always go into the store to buy those items. I mean, 270s are still bought. Yeah, Air Max 270s are still a thing. I walk around and I see them all the time in the gym, at the airport. Doesn't matter. So them increasing those models by $5, $10, I get it. If you may have an issue with it, but also just a question like, how often are you buying these products for them to make that big of a concern for you? And I'm just saying because incrementally, if you buy, let's say, like two pairs, maybe you buy, I'm talking about like, okay, it went up by $5. Let's say you buy two pairs a year. So you spent an additional 10 in the grand scheme of everything, not that much. So for you to really have an issue with it, like how many pairs are you buying? And maybe is that something that you should look at? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I get that aspect of business. But we have moved into this era in 2024 where it's just not uncommon. Like, I don't even blink an eye now when I see that a retro is 215 or a LeBron coming out is like 220. Like, I understand he's always been like that upper echelon of Nike product lines and performance products, but my goodness, like, still I don't bat an eye, but I've also taken this big step back of, is it worth it for me to spend $200 now? Men and women that just are, into those higher, those bigger men sizes, I feel for you because no matter what, you're always going to have to pay more, right? I've been fortunate where I can still wear grade school. That's a hit or miss, though. It's kind of bittersweet because how many times have I sent pairs back because they just didn't look good based on the execution? Because it's grade school, they just seem to not care as much about quality control, and I have a problem with that. To the point, I don't think I'm ever going to buy a Jordan 12 GS ever again. Like, they played in my face twice. I can't go through that again. So I feel bad for men and then women that are in those bigger sizes because there's just not a whole lot you can do outside of making the choice. Where's the limit to what you'll spend on a pair? And it's going to be based on value, and value is individual, and it's perception for your life and how you plan to use the shoe. But just for me, okay? Another goal I've just kind of set as we've entered the new year. If it's not a New Balance, okay? If it's not a 990 series, I don't know that I can justify $200 on a shoe. I just don't know that I can. Okay, unless it's like something that is so special and near and dear to me, like the Reverse Grinch was at the end of 2023, then fine. Pay the price, get it in, and that is something I will cherish. Those are the two pairs I will say will not leave my collection. I will continue to cherish those, but for so many other things, no, I don't know. I can't. Like the 200 plus, listen, that sweet spot I want to stay in between 75, because I can get a Vans New School for $75, okay? 75 to like 160 is where I kind of want to be. I'm willing, if it's a Jordan 1 high that I really love, like the navy pair we see coming out in the fall, then fine, because the men's pair may very well be a little bit better than the GS pair. That can happen. And if I get that, then cool. I do like the higher profile in the men's pair. I have that lost and found, and I really like the way that it sits in relation to height to ankle, all that. So, willing to pay that, but outside of it, I don't know. So I am really curious to hear your guys' thoughts just on the fact that it is the norm. We've just accepted it, but like there are so many things that we accept in this culture, and it's on us then when things continue to feel like they are just going downhill for the consumer experience in a way. So I don't know, some people are going to say, well, if you don't like the price, don't pay it. Absolutely. Don't pay it, which is what I will not be doing for a lot of shoes in 2024. I will not be paying for them. I will enjoy a lower price point, still getting great value based on the pairs that I choose to get. A lot of it will be based on comfort, versatility, and how it fits into my current style. And when you're going through your closet to clean out pairs, hopefully you saw my video on what I'm doing in 2024, just ask yourself this question. Would you buy that shoe right now in 2024? Would you buy it right now based on its current... The joy when your camera dies on you, and if you've never actually had one of these cameras, you can see the flip out screen. You can see when the battery is dying. You just try to get the video done, and it just doesn't always work out that way. But I am curious, okay? how are you approaching sneakers in 2024? For some of us, we're not paying resale this year unless it's below retail, and some of us do have thoughts on how much we're willing to pay per pair based on the value that we perceive for ourselves. And I'll never forget, you guys remember CL Now 23, right? The Air Max King, a friend of mine. He took a big step back. He just decided to go ahead, live life, focus on family, and I love that for him. His son is doing amazing in basketball, so it's always fun to see those clips on Instagram that he posts when he's at the games. But, he had even spoken on years ago how the price of Air Maxes started to creep up, and they used to be at that 100, 110, 120, and then you saw them going up to 130 and 140. And look at now, we see the big bubble Air Max 1 that was priced at 160. And I'm so glad that I was patient on the Obsidian pair because now it's below retail on GOAT. So if I still want to add that to the collection, I certainly can. I would have like the previous release that came out and then this one, but not at that 160 price point. So 160 may be the max outside of like one Jordan 1 high that I think I'm going to, go after this year. But 2024, it's just about change and introspection, what really is moving me and not, and some of these prices. A lot of the commentary and conversation and rhetoric that's gone on in sneakers has never really been a thing that I've enjoyed or appreciated, and I see it all the time on my timelines and the things people argue about, and it's just like, who cares? But the price, and based on that price, also don't be surprised that you see more Jordan Retro sit in 2024. Now, everything is cyclical, and we are moving into an age where people are expanding their collection and they're exploring different models and brands and collaborations. And I love that for you. But that also means that I want people to stop with the, oh my God, I can't believe this Jordan is sitting. What happened? A lot of things have happened. Maybe a lot of people realize they've bought so many pairs, especially Jordans, in the last few years that they haven't even gotten around to wearing. So why continue to flood your closet and empty your wallet for these things that you're not actually using? I'm just saying. And now when you are buying a pair, that's like bare minimum 190 or 200, especially if you're in men's sizing. So that should give you pause just for a second. Okay, it should. And if it doesn't, then fine, like continue to go about your business. But like I already said in a previous video, the biggest enemy, the number one enemy of sneakerheads, it's always going to be space. So you will eventually run out of space. You can either follow the American dream and go pay for more space outside of your home, or pay for more fixed overhead with a higher mortgage or more rent. But even then, do you just continue to do that? Or at some point, do you just kind of reel it all back in and want to experience other things outside of just having a room full of sneakers that clearly you can't wear as much as what you ever thought you could? Like, look at the value. Whatever you pay for a pair, however many times you wear it per year, that's the cost. Like, that's the cost per wear. Think about cost per wear, okay? And that may change how you look at what you spend on sneakers, all right? So that's all I wanted to talk about today. As always, if you are ever interested in my free budgeting ebook, link is in the description box just for, I should say my email is in the description box. Go ahead, send me an email. I will get that out to you. And hopefully, if you have no idea how to just start on a budget, create some sinking funds for things you need to do throughout the year, take care of your needs, still plan for your wants, really easy reads. So that's always available. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.